Denis Zakaria, Gabriel Slonina, João Felix, Datro Fofana, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Andre Santos, Kani Chukwuemeka, Malo Gusto, Noni Madueke, Kalidou Koulibaly, Benoit Badiashile, Raheem Sterling, Marco Correa, Mykhailo Mudryk, Wesley Fofana, and Enzo Fernandez. That is all of Chelsea's signings. It's not a complete list of a complete film crew cast. It is Chelsea's signings in 2022 to 23. Spending over 600 million euros. How have they been able to afford it? What has happened for Todd Boehly to be able to come in and splurge this money without any sanction? Well, we're going to be talking about that today and how Chelsea will potentially avoid financial fair play sanction. But before that, the intro. What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Stonage channel. And yes, we are back for another month of amazing content coming straight to your screens. And this is the first pre-recorded video of the month. And I wanted to talk all about Chelsea's transfer window. So we all thought they went absolutely nuts in the summer, didn't we? And then all of a sudden, they managed to do exactly the same and more in January. So Chelsea actually spent more money this January than any Premier League club, and also more than any Premier League club combined in last January's transfer window. So how have they been able to do it, and why have they done it? So let's have a look at Chelsea's forms this season so far. They currently find themselves in 10th in the Premier League. They've had a rather woeful season. Sacked Thomas Tuchel to start off with, had a little bit of handbags with Antonio Conte, of course, at the start of the season, and then hired Graham Potter. It's not been plain sailing for Potter, and unfortunately for him, Chelsea still find themselves in mid-table, but it would be impossible to say that he has not been financially backed by the new owner, Todd Boehly. That final splurge on Enzo Fernandez on transfer deadline day broke the British transfer record, which was set with Manchester City's acquisition of Jack Grealish. And that British record fee was around £105 million of outlay. So how can they continue to spend so freely under UEFA's financial fair play regulations? Financial fair play, let's define it. So regulations are a measure designed to prevent football clubs basically financially doping. So say, for example, when Roman Abramovich first went to Chelsea, there was a lot of accusations of such, and they're not really giving the money, and to have sort of a legitimized way of improving in football, not based on finances. The regulations outline sanctions for clubs found to have overspent. The UEFA FFP rules only allow a £53 million loss over a rolling 3-year period. And the body has introduced a soft wage cap, which also reduces spending agents' fees and net transfer fees at 90% of the revenue for the next season. The Premier League's rules differ slightly, with clubs allowed a loss of about £105 million over a 3-year period rolling. So that's FFP, and Chelsea have spent a lot of money. So how people are thinking, how on earth have they adjourned to it? Well, there's this little key term, something that's been thrown around Twitter a lot: amortization. So what is amortization? This is probably the key aspect in how Chelsea have complied with financial fair play. It simply means that they have spread the cost of their transfer over the length of the contract. So, for example, Mykhailo Mudryk, an £80 million signing from Shakhtar Donetsk, cost £80 million over 8 years, are given an 8-year contract, which means it's £10 million every year. It's literally the equal spreading of a transfer fee over that time, which is on the account. And also on that amortization, we've spoken about fees going out. What about fees coming in? Well, they're not amortized. They go straight into the club's accounts, which means this allows the clubs to potentially shift accounts around to make it look like they are still making the money that is required to comply with financial fair play regulations. So, for example, with the Mykhailo Mudryk transfer, the £10 million that will go out of Chelsea's accounts this season will be re-invoked with the £12 million that Jorginho's transfer fee cost when he was sold to Arsenal. So that is already, they're making technically balancing the books and more with that signing. So, according to The Independent, Chelsea are confident they have complied with all financial fair play regulations. Their accounts for last season are yet to have been made public, but it's thought that the club made a pre-tax profit for the second time in a 3-year period. So, obviously, as we mentioned earlier, I have to have a £105 million loss over a 3-year rolling period. They think they made a profit in 2 of those years, so they have to make a really serious loss for them to really be impacted in financial fair play this year. But The 2021 season, 20 to 21, they spent over £200 million in the window. Havertz, Werner, Ziyech, Chilwell all came in. One big thing, though, that will have impacted this is the COVID pandemic. So the COVID pandemic, as it impacted all our lives, has also impacted financial fair play. So Chelsea, alongside West Ham and Manchester City and Leicester City, so 3 other Premier League clubs, are one of 19 that were able to technically fulfill the requirement based on the application of the COVID-19 emergency measures. So talking of furlough systems and the way that clubs were supplied with money to continue running as normal as possible during the COVID-19 pandemic without matchday revenue. That will stop this year because of that 3-year rolling period. So realistically, Chelsea will lose that blanket, shall we say, but it looks like with their pre-tax profits, they will be okay. So can Chelsea continue to spend at the rate they have been? I would argue personally, no, they can't. But what they can do, if they do wish to continue with this level, is sell assets. So they are probably going to be looking to sell quite a few players in the summer. That will hopefully help balance the books, as well as lose wages off the books as well. It also may hinge on whether they get European football, which of course is the big be-all and end-all when it comes to finances in football. That big top 4, the glamour money that you get from being in the Champions League, and the TV deals that the Premier League is giving at the moment means their revenues will not take as big of a hit as if they finished outside of the Champions League. They're probably not going to finish in the Champions League this year, if we're being honest. So that will likely impact what will happen in future seasons. But it looks like with the investment they have now, any sanction that will be from FFP will be minimal, and they will be able to compete with a much younger, much fresher squad in the future. So what are your thoughts on the Chelsea debacle? Do you think that Todd Boehly, Graham Potter and the entire strategists at Stamford Bridge have made the right decisions? For me, if I'm offering my personal opinion, I think Chelsea are overspending on the players that they are. But the fact is, if they're viewed as long-term... If Chelsea view these players they're bringing in, like Fernandes, like Mudryk, to be long-term cogs in their future weaponry, then the money will be worth it. It's like, for example, if Liverpool went to sign Jude Bellingham, I wouldn't really think that any fee would be overspending because of the worth to Liverpool at that time. And so, yeah, I don't think anyone should bash Chelsea for overspending, but they do need to be careful to comply within regulations. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I will catch you very, very soon with a live stream tomorrow for Chelsea against Fulham. So make sure to catch me there. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.